Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, go on, please.
But yeah, we had this Tuesday on 18, and it was such a marathon thing, 24 hours. I mean, it was super exciting. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. I never expected something like this to happen, but
yeah, I think there were a couple of more products who were launching that day, and too much competition for the top space. It does happen on a Tuesday, I guess.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. I mean, I just want to say the most upvotes, the most comments went to Clue.
Yeah, I heard that. I saw that on Twitter. Yeah, I think there are things that Product Hunt does in terms of velocity in upvotes and the quality of people who are voting in terms of so quite a lot of things to learn with the updates that are coming up on Product Hunt. Yeah, so we can start, and then initially we can have an introduction from everyone who's there on the call, as in the speakers first, and then we can go through the slides, talk about just your experience on Product Hunt and the hot topic, ChatGPT and GPT-4, which is creating such a momentum in the market. If you've seen the entire developer ecosystem and even the top GitHub repositories are now related to AI products, especially AutoGPT after its launch, and also how GPT is shaping in terms of how we develop and create content online as well as products. So I'll get it going. I'm Ankur. I'm the co-founder of our two products, Vadu and Yuki, which is Yuki is a community platform for creators and brands. So you can set up your own community directly on your website or an app. It can be around content or any vertical you're building or a following for you. And we help you host events, have discussions, and if you want to monetize your community. Starting with, I think, Sneha, we can move to the next slide. We have on the call Sandra, who's at Marketing and Growth at Clue, which is an AI-powered search for your apps. We have Ashish, who's the Head of Community at DTC Drive. Hi, Ashish. He's been an experienced community builder in SaaS, and welcome, Ashish. And we have Kaya, who is a Business Intelligence Executive at Transfer Chain, technology executive with more than 8 years of experience and experience in product management as well in different cities across the world, Istanbul, Toronto, and New York. Welcome, Kaya. So as first, we can give some time on, we can pass the buck to, Sandra. You can talk about your experience in how did you end up coming to Product Hunt and discovering Product Hunt and launching there. And so after that, Ashish and Kaya, you can talk about your experience discovering Product Hunt and sort of growing with the community.
So we started Clue somewhere in late December. We built it, and then we went kind of in this private beta, I would say. And after that came time to went out with the public beta, and we had no idea what to do and where to go. So we knocked on Twitter doors. No one had followers, no one had any community there. So I was like, okay, let's try this out and see what's gonna happen. So on 10th of February, we kind of launched our public beta on Twitter, and the response was actually really great. People were willing and open enough to try some new product, and I was really surprised because our product is kind of very sensitive. You have to integrate your own data there and apps and etc. But still, people were willing to try it. And someone at that point said to me in some comment, "You should go to Product Hunt." And I'm like, okay, what? Maybe I should. So I kind of spent some time actually researching about Product Hunt and how to go to Product Hunt and what are our goals with Product Hunt, and when we'll be actually ready for the Product Hunt, because that was because we are such a small team, and then we had something already out. So what we want to bring to Product Hunt and what kind of value we want to get there. 5 weeks really intensive work preparing for it. And now on Tuesday it happened. So, and it was one of the best things, honestly. Like, I didn't expect it. But like it was on Tuesday, and I still feel like we are still in this product hunt madness. Like, it didn't stop. So it's such a great platform for people that are building their own products and they need validation or someone to try it out. And yeah.
Sure, I think so. It does create a lot of momentum for you, and I think in the coming weeks you'll see a continuous influx of users coming to your platform. Some of them, even from my experience in the past, do end up buying your product and becoming sort of active users on the platform as well. So Ashish, how did you discover Product Hunt and your experience in with the community there?
Yeah, hey, great to be here. So I've been a techie for all my life till now. So during my college days itself, I found Product Hunt because I was part of few developer communities back then. So Product Hunt was something that everybody knew. I was more of a consumer there, right? Just trying to be in discussions and trying to just use products, but never really launched anything. And that happened pretty much like 2 years. Like I was a different guy from 2015 to 20. I was more of a coder kind of a guy. Then switched my base towards community building, which is truly what I want to do in life. Right. So that's where I was like, Product Hunt. Launch became an important thing. So I have some experience about launching 5 products out there. What I found from the platform is, yes, so great platform for your early testers, right? Like get your initial users. But it can also help you post that, as Sandra was saying, the heat can still remain. You can still keep the heat going on within the platform, because you never know, because of the buzz that you create of Product Hunt. Somebody opens up a thread on Twitter, or somebody finds you on Twitter and then creates a YouTube video, and an influencer finds it, and the heat keeps going on, right? And what is really important is that, like, you get more people in the PH community to keep reviewing your app post-launch as well. So that's something I feel is really key, because you might get your quotes, but until people use your product, go back and give a review, not many people from the PH will actually keep using it. So that's something of an amazing learning I've been having. Recently launched something in the e-commerce, like everybody has been building prompts for SaaS, and we kind of like thought, hey, SaaS guys are techies, they know their stuff, but what about people who are just small business owners just trying to sell online, right? They need more help, they need more understanding. And because it's such a customer-oriented approach they take, we launched this ChatGPT for e-commerce prompt generator. Amazing, right? Like, after launch, we saw that among all the sidecar products we launched, that really pulled off, and we got more people to use it. So it's never ending. We're launching more products as we speak. The AI shift is happening on PH right now and across the world. So yeah, let's talk about it more.
Sure. Yeah, I think I saw the e-commerce one, and I think a lot more users besides techies would want to use ChatGPT for the use case, and tools which help them do that will get a lot of adoption. And we have influx of users who want to try out different things. So there's a great time to launch this product. Kai, if you're there, would you like to talk about your experience on Product Hunt? How did you discover it, and any insights with the launches or the launch you've done?
I think he may have some.
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, I've just pinged him. Yeah, so we'll come back to him as he joins. Hi,
Can you
Kai.
hear me? I apologize.
Hello. I think there's some problem with your connection. I'm not able.
I thought my internet connection is gonna be bad.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. After COVID, it's usually the one who's sort of, we think it's R, and it might be the other person as well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I let him come back. We'll try to connect with him as well. Know about his insights on product hunt. I have pinged him. Sneha, can we move to the next slide? Yeah, so GPT-3 and businesses, and now GPT-4. What is your insight? Have you tried out both the variants of GPT in terms of the ChatGPT integration, as well as if you have worked on the API as well? So Sandra, you can go first, and then Ashish, you can follow on this. Your experience in the GPT world.
Yeah, I mean, for us at Clue, we started without, and then the moment we could, we jumped into it, because Clue started as just a search, pretty much internal engine. And then with ChatGPT 3 in our case, we are still waiting for 4. But in our case, it gave us ability to kind of read through data, so users can have opportunity to kind of ask questions about their internal data and get a immediate respond, which means that they don't have to, once they find this document, they don't have to scan it and search for answers themselves, but they can get respond immediate through the search engine. So that was like a big, huge thing for us. It kind of like made this whole circle of the platform, like it was kind of like a little bit of key in our case. So yeah.
So GPT was used to enhance the user experience in your case?
In our case, yes.
Great.
Because we started without it, and then we realized this was brilliant.
Got it. And Ashish, your experience in terms of using both the models, if you have?
Yeah, I think a very observation, so to speak, I had is the reasoning capabilities of the AI, right? Like, if you tell something to GPT-3 saying, okay, today I'm going to work on this project. This is all I want to get out of it. Can you help me do this? Can you help me, plan, strategize, and all that? It kind of like really doesn't perform well, right? Yeah. But GPT-4 is much more advanced. It completely understands what you want. It's trying to understand more what you want. It's trying to more reason with you. And also when it comes to application, see, because we all think, I personally think on how can this apply to e-commerce every now and then, right? So from that level, or even when it comes to any person, I feel that this whole manager thing, which is across the world, is going to be completely replaced with GPT-4 coming in, right? Like, you don't need managers anymore, right? Like, you just need to, GPT-4 can help you plan, strategize, do things, and you just need to, go ahead and execute it, right? Like that's all pretty much is. And two, when it comes to what I'm really keen with AI is how AI integrates with other tools, right? So that's the beauty, that's the power there, right? Like I'm more interested in connecting, let's say, GPT-4 to a customer service agent, right? Like, how can you replace your account managers and customer service guys with GPT-4? Because the reasoning there is pretty cool. It can actually train the GPT-4 to know more about your product in and out, and give that personalized experience towards your customers, and also even when it comes to your account management, right? But again, things are not advanced that way. I still feel that the processing, the ability, the output generation is more better, because in GPT-3 and below that, the whole reason of people went crazy on putting prompts is trying to give what they want, right? But in GPT-4, it's very like that one level of thing is already cleared, and what you need to really do is you need to work with it for a much more longer level, right? It can give you pretty good answers compared to 4 or 3. I've tried a few things in terms of helping from content level, helping from connecting that to Midjourney and all that stuff, right? So I truly believe that connecting that to your existing systems is the true trust of the AI, which you really need to do, right? Because then you'll understand that it's a baby which has come out of the world. How will it perform?
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I think existing platforms, if you connect the power of GPT to that, that creates a sort of massive impact across industries. Yeah, I think we started off building a sort of better interface for GPT, ChatGPT with Samurai, and it's a free tool. You can connect your key and ask questions. Got decently popular now. I think this month we'll touch 1 million users with it, and I think we're launching something exciting tomorrow also. I think before this weekend, which is something around auto agents, where you decide you want to solve a problem, you tell 2 agents. Agents can be a doctor, a patient, a trainer, and an athlete, or a business consultant, and a startup founder or VC, and they can discuss and solve that problem for you, give you an end result. So going deeper into the problem, so we started with ChatGPT, AutoGPT, now agents which can discuss, and 2 or more agents, and solve sort of your use case, get on a result. So we are going towards that direction, and a lot of sort of exciting times, I guess. I think Kaya, if you are back online, happy to sort of get your introduction and your journey on Product Hunt. Yeah, I think he's traveling. So I got a ping that he's traveling with a flaky connection. So we can continue our discussion as and when he's there. We can get his insight on this. So Sneha, can we move to the next slide? So I think today update on this, GPT-4 released an update, and it's faster now. I've already tested out the response time. There might be more updates that are there behind the screen. So talking about how has AI impacted your business, and how are you planning to use AI and ChatGPT in your existing business and in your day-to-day? So how do you use ChatGPT, as you mentioned, around content? Sandra mentioned around the product. Any insight on that in the future? How do you want to use AI in your products and in your day-to-day life as a coder, developer, creator, etc.? Sandra, you can go on.
Yeah, so as I said, we kind of like already implemented that to the product. Fits perfectly. When it comes to day-to-day, I mean, I've been on it since the moment went out. I paid the moment I could be, like the moment there was an option to pay. I was like, okay, here's my money, because it's such a different way of working as well for me when it comes to day life, because it speeds up my work. If we are talking now about ChatGPT4, it remembers what I said, so I can go back to it. So it's just this simple new way of working and giving you kind of like, I wouldn't say some kind of stability, but it's always there whenever I need it to question anything. I use it for content. I've sent multiple emails. I don't even use Grammarly anymore. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like we had Google before this, and if you would ask me before ChatGPT came out, like, is there anything better than Google? Do you need anything better than Google? I'd be like, no, I didn't even think about it. Like, it took me one day to jump on it and be like, I fully get this, I fully understand this, this is like the thing that I need. After that, like Bing Chat, even that was brilliant as well. So and when I think about marketing and growth and all of these things from that perspective, it's so interesting to see, because we always think when you're building something, you need a problem and you are bringing a solution to the market. So this was kind of like this interesting use case where we were like, okay, we have something that is working and we've been used to that. And now we have something that totally different, and it's so much better. And I didn't even know that I have this problem, because now I cannot go on Google and just go through, article after article and article trying to find myself information. It's just lost of time after this.
Yeah, it's like the iPhone moment. We didn't know that we needed a touch screen unless Steve introduced it, and Jobs. And
I work and live in Finland, so Nokia is a very painful moment for it.
Yeah, I think even in India, where we're from, we used to use Nokia before. And Symbian was the operating system, and people moved directly to Android. And now I think iPhone is growing really fast in Asia, and especially in countries like India. Yeah. One quick question: is your usage of Google down versus and is it shifted to ChatGPT? And I've seen myself using Google less now.
Yeah, I was actually searching for some data to see if there's any data of a usage, but I couldn't find anything. But yeah, like now when I Google something, it's usually just a website that I already know. So it's like a, there's no ambition.
So brand names are what people are still searching for on Google.
Yeah, I mean, like there's no motivation in me anymore to go through, 5 or 6 articles that are probably written the same just to rank on Google. Going through the information, especially now also with Clue, like we have ability to get to information we need in a second. Why do I have to go through all of this pain searching for something?
Got it. Yeah, because the time to get information on Google is much more compared, because you need to scroll to websites, then get into them, fact check between different websites and find the content. So you're doing a lot of work, and then clicking on ads in between. So that might be another pain point. So yeah, Ashish, your experience on how you're using ChatGPT, and in the future, how do you plan to work and integrate with it?
This is gonna take long. Okay. Let me just start maybe because I'm the marketing team. Let me speak for that, because there's a whole application going on everywhere, right? So being in the marketing team, okay. I've been exploring, idea generation, campaign formation, all of that becomes cool. And also, like, if for me, see, if you're a marketer, you're consuming a lot and you want to consume better and better and better, and you want to consume and you get out of it, right? So pretty much all of that time is reduced now, because there's summaries, there's documentation of that, all of that. Everything is so automated when it comes to churning out blogs and putting content out there, or churning on podcasts for that matter, right? Like real content which is going out there. I love taking that real content and meeting it out, because blogs would have written from so many goals, right? But when you're in a podcast, you're like talking really real stuff, right? So I've been using that too. I've been tons of using generative AI tools, right? Like when it comes to thumbnails, when it comes to even there is a lot of tools now which is coming in the AI space, generative AI space, when it comes to, okay, take an existing video, change it, personalize it, right? Out there, create more UGC, right? Take an influencer, deep fake it, create a content, put it up there, right? So I've been experimenting a lot of that, and truly on my daily things, because I'm a huge Notion fan, I'm trying to connect all of my AI into Notion and figure out whether what I'm writing, all of my workspace stuff, is better and better and better. Third, which I haven't seen till yet, which I really want from an AI, is if you're a community builder, trust me, you're going to face a lot of problems, right? Like to build a community, you need the community and you need a lot of people as well, right? But I haven't seen the much use cases of AI there, and people shouldn't use AI to ping people and write code and all that, but at least ability to understand conversations across the community, knowing what is the pulse, right? Understanding, like lot of data is sitting out there, just like it's out there in the internet, right? But these sub communities are pretty much sub internets, right? And these again needs its own AI to build the communities. So that's something I'm really exploring right now, because what we are doing right now is pretty much trying to humanize AI. We're trying to give it as much information from our world so that it becomes better and better, and trying to just optimize our processes with it. But it's still not out there. I'm still feeling that the AI era has just started off. The quality what AI can give is still not up to the mark.
Got it. Did you face the blank page problem while writing content, which is sort of solved by all these generative AI sort of content tools, especially ChatGPT giving you an outline of what you want to write?
Yeah.
And in terms of your time to get to the right kind of your final edit, is it?
Yeah. I faced it. So it gives the same kind of output with different responses. And I don't like that as a marketer. I don't like that as a content guy, right? I was trying to get it to write memes and it stopped, right? Did not pull it off because it doesn't understand how we consume memes. It doesn't understand the art of writing memes and all that.
Yeah, comedy might not die soon, so...
No.
You won't be able to create Seinfeld the way it is, or
exactly.
Yeah. I think Todd, one of our sort of part of our conversation, and Todd is messaged saying that content outlining, writing posts, social media, creating community, almost anything around content is now being done by AI, and in the future also. He's a regular of sessions, and I'm glad to have you again. I think we'll have some time from him to learn about his experience in AI in between or at the end of the call. And let's go to the next one. Yeah. I think we'll take up the questions after the call, after the session. Sneha, next slide. I think we've skipped ahead. So we can talk about this. Is it ethical to open source an AGI? So what kind of AI products do you think will receive more attention in the future? Currently, there are many products focused on text to image and video. A lot of AI content generation tools have come up, which are powered by ChatGPT. a lot of customer support tools have come up which help you run ChatGPT over your website, your videos, create a chatbot. There's this generative space where Midjourney and all the open source tools are there, which help you create assets. What is the direction you think would be the future media tools which are built on AI? So,
can I go?
Sorry?
Can I go? Can I?
Sure, you can go.
Yeah, so I have a lot of expectations of what things can do. We haven't even started the era of personalized AI, right? If you just think about it, right? Like, imagine an AI which pretty much, understands what your customer wants, becomes that agent pretty much as you were saying, right? And be that agent which will be there for the customers ever ready, right? And imagine that as just not a chat, because we've been so used and done with it. Imagine that as a video, right? Somebody who coming upon, be like a human, but talk like and think like an AI, right? That kind of stuff is something that I'm really excited to see moving forward, because that are the true applications of what we really want to see from AI, right? Like, I want the AI to read all of my emails that I do, help me understand how, like, if I'm writing to an influencer, I want the AI to know how do I convert it? What are the steps to go for it, right? Like, and I want that AI to do with so many influencers, right? So I'm starting to feel, especially being a marketer, personalization, tracking AI, connecting to wherever your systems are, if those kind of product comes, because that is the true AI capability, right? That we've been dreaming of.
This is like Google plus. So Google with all more AI and knowing about everyone, and then sort of reaching it wherever you want and knowing more about you. Yeah, it's good and scary at the same time. And yeah.
No. See, it's not about spamming. It's not about making you stressed out, but it's actually giving you what you wanted, right? Like trust me, being in the e-commerce world, we are seeing the troubles of the benefits of what AI can do for e-commerce stores, right? Because SaaS buying works different, but an e-commerce store buying is completely different. So many touch points, and what we're trying to also solve here with Moda is how can AI sit on top of your data, sit on top of your content, all of that, and be that personalized partner, so to speak, for running your business. That's, I feel, the kind of product would start others to build. Because as I go with the same thing that I said in the beginning, until you connect that AI with your systems, you will not know what exactly it can do for you.
Got it. Yeah, I think makes sense. Personalization is one front that AI would work with media. I think videos, as you mentioned. Sandra, what do you want AI to build next, or what do you want people to build in AI, and what is the direction you're seeing, and something you would want to use in the work you're in, or as a person? Yeah.
I'm still hoping I will be able to jump on these calls and have a British accent or something like that.
Yeah, I think it is a bit possible. I think there was some product I was seeing on Twitter. So in real time, it can translate between languages. So I'm hoping accent would be similar. So accent, British or American accent, picking it up in real time might be easier as compared to switching between languages. But I think a refined version would be there. But I think, why would you want to do that? Yeah? I think we would do our individuality.
Able to.
No, Ankur, you got to think this through. We are inevitable. We're going to die someday. But what if you want you to be alive forever?
Yes.
A movie like that. There's something there.
Yeah, I think if it is, yeah, go on. Yeah. Sorry to sort of cut you in between. So I was mentioning that there is a way that all these tools can increase your reach. But in longer term, if everyone is the 10x designer, 10x developer, so and everyone has the same personality, it might be boring in a way. So humans are moving towards becoming a more like a machine. So our mindset of machines are, they look similar, have a similar personality in that way. The current machine.
We want to humanize machines, and machines want to be human.
It might happen. Todd, any thoughts on this? You can sort of join in.
Sorry, what was the question? I was writing.
So the question was, what do you want to see in the future? What is the direction you want these AI products to go in, and any particular product in media space or any other space you want to see, which is in the near future being built?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of interesting ways that this could go. I liked what Dankar was saying about a little bit, or you were saying a little bit earlier about personalization. I can see having personalized AI agents that are trained with our preferences, understandings, our ethical approaches to using content, whether it's visual design or written, so that we are interacting with this technology in ways that we're comfortable with. I think, Felicia's expression of like, I find this scary. I don't know if you were kind of, being a little jokey about it or serious, but I mean, I think there are serious questions about what artificial generalized intelligence is going to mean for all of us going forward. And so, building something that is responsible, that is personal and practical at the same time, I think that's ideally where I'd like to see things go. I'm just very excited to see the things that are going on right now, like daily in the space around AI chatbots that can adopt personas, that can act as a coach, that can be a motivator, that can maybe take video and split it up into pieces, so that it's usable as a marketer. Like there's just tons of practical things that are being experimented right now, and it's a little hard to see that much farther forward than all of the crazy change that's happening like right now at this moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to add on to what Todd said. Todd, I use this thing called as video.ai to pretty much put my podcast and make it snips. But I'll tell you what's the problem with that, right? The AI still doesn't know what's valuable to the end listener, right? It just takes random snips and just goes with it, right? It's not aware enough to know who is the end listener and what should be delivered out of that.
I think they will train someone to do that. So we'll get some people to train this data, and then voila, you will have AI which can produce content as good as a normal creator would. So one insight I've seen sort of rolling out free AI tools is in the AI space, a week of time in terms of output from the community is worth at least 2 months in other spaces. So within a week, you have so many updates, so many new features, so many APIs being built, a lot of open source work. So it looks like 2 months. So when we launch on product end, it's usually last half an hour, we are able to complete our product and launch it. So it's that fast that things are happening. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. I think that is some space I'm really excited about, the open source one. So I think it was initially popular with all a lot of people getting together and building open source models like ChatGPT. But it really kicked off with AutoGPT, which is basically recursively asking an AI model or a generative GPT model and taking answers and then reacting on top of it. So basically, if you're connected to a terminal, you'll have access to a lot more tools you can interact. So if you're in a terminal, you could sort of create a project. If you have some dependency, which is basically libraries, it would be able to install it. If you are on a browser, AutoGPT is able to create a plan for you to execute an action. and then take that step by step and tell you how to do it. A browser doesn't have all the capabilities, so it would only be able to search the internet. And if you provide it some more access, it will be able to save that plan in a file for you. But I think I mentioned the next step are agents talking to each other, and you are sort of eliminated in the conversation, just giving it the task and just stepping back and waiting for the answer. Talking about this space, there are a lot of open source. So the most famous GitHub libraries around AutoGPT, Baby AGI, are now among the biggest repositories on GitHub. And what are your thoughts on it? The space and open sourcing a direction which is may in the future be an AGI. It's not there, but in the future might be an AGI. Sandra, you can go first, and then I think Ashish, you can come in. Yeah.
I think someone else has to talk about this.
Yeah, so just an ethical point of view, if you think...
It's very hard to answer this question, actually. I've put it many times.
Yeah.
Is it or it's not? How can we know now? Like, it's a very hard question.
I mean, here is how I can think about it, right? Like any technology which has been ever made has been used for both good and bad purposes, all right? Until there's a law coming in between, until there are rules coming in between, until we come and control how people use it, or know what that agent is really giving, right, to the end person. That is it a good thing that the agent is really helping, or is it a bad thing that agent is helping? That's something I think we should control if we need to survive as a good species in this world. But you never know. If you want to let it out of control, then have it, man. Pretty much. Like I would say that there needs to be control on how this AI works with people, because it's really key not to go on the other side.
Yeah, I think Todd, you want to jump in and talk about if you want to see, is it ethical to work in the space, or especially open source? Let's sort of narrow it down to, can we have open source model working on AGI? Do you think it's the right approach?
Yeah, Todd, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, there are a host of ethical issues around AI just in general right now, not even generalized AI. I mean, I work with artist friends who are on a warpath against things like DALL-E and Midjourney, because they're saying it's stealing my style and creating things that are stealing directly from what I do. They're taking my art and adapting it for whatever. Where I struggle with that isn't that what most of us do as humans? Like, are we not taking multiple sources and building things? I think it's a matter of the instructions that you give the AI. I think there's some ethical guidelines there as far as like how much of any style or any kind of content you can sample to create something new, becomes the big question for me. As far as like something like AutoGPT though, like, is it ethical to create an AutoGPT with the task of world domination, or to spread disinformation to people? I don't know if I'm sure you guys saw the headline around the chaos GPT, but that somebody said like, okay, your job is to take over the world and become immortal, right? You can get into some rather frightening conversations with the language models. I'm a gamer, and I use this tool to sometimes come up with role-playing game scenarios. And so I've had ChatGPT pose as a villain in some of the chats that I run, and it can become quite chilling with some of the creative and evil things that it can come up with. So I mean, I think certainly building in some protections or some guide rails having regulation around how these tools can be used responsibly is almost as important, maybe even more important than things like gun control in our society. I do have concerns.
Yeah. So thinking about nature, so the top of the pyramid is the one which is not the most powerful in terms of strength, but with your mind. So human versus a tiger or an elephant, human have a better thinking ability, and they're able to control a larger or more powerful being. So in that respect, and the movies we've seen from Hollywood, it does look scary. But having said that, it's better to have the discussion and development in an open space. So if you have a repository where people are contributing in the open and everyone knows of what is happening, and taking a sensible approach in terms of development. So you have everyone knowing of what is happening versus a closed loop or a bigger organization working towards it. I think an open source community having access, everyone having access to that model or the approach is a better way to go about things. And
Ankur, definitely I'm with you when it comes to that aspect of the table. Like people need to develop openly. We're not even discussing on the applications of AI when it comes to medical stuff, right? Like think about in the future, will we have doctors or not, right? Like if you want to tap into that.
Did you hear about a Twitter conversation around a person who was able to find a cure for his dog by inputting his condition, and the doctor wasn't able to? And and I tried that approach. I was able to send anonymized medical data to ChatGPT, and it was able to give me sensible response. I think it was almost at a level of a decently qualified physician would, and even nutritionist would. So I think, often a better listener than my medical doctor. Absolutely.
I think when it comes to even therapy and stuff, AI can do a better job. Right.
But that might be the case because we are used to conversing with a phone or a laptop versus a human being now. So we don't have patience for others. So we have patience for machine. It doesn't respond like that. This question, I think it is one of the most exciting times to build right now, and this might be more powerful than an iPhone as well. So a launch of a model like ChatGPT. So we don't know what OpenAI does, and as well as OpenAI's GPT models do, as well as the conversation I've seen on YouTube with the founder as well. They are not able to themselves understand how GPT works in a way as well. So, and do you see open source models being able to reach the levels of an OpenAI model? So have you seen any work? Do you have any insight? Anyone who wants to go first can. I think Sandra, Ashish, Todd, if you want to jump in, talk about it. Do you think an open source experiment can reach a level like a GPT model? And if you've seen any signs, so at least from an open source kind of way, we would know what is happening versus a GPT which is a closed box and we don't know what is actually happening inside.
I don't have anything on this.
I think I have some insights. I've seen around 6-7 models which are being built. They are publicly trained with data. I think Llamas was the first one. I think someone leaked the Facebook model and people have trained it using GPT's data. I've just not allowed as per their terms of service, but they were able to do that. And I think it reached almost a 90% capacity response of what GPT is. But assuming what everyone was asking was a general question, and we've seen ways in which GPT is not able to and does hallucinate in terms of responses. I mean, it doesn't know what is happening in a conversation. So we'll park this question. If anyone has insight, I think people are dropping in. People can drop in the chat. If you have any particular question, just drop the question on the chat window. We'll take it up. Yeah. So another thing is with Midjourney getting popular, I think the stock art kind of space is sort of solved by AI now, or will be solved in the coming days, but not so much in terms of creating, say, banners, creating logos. I haven't seen an AI product which can replace what Canva does for me. So any product you've seen or you think can replace Canva in the steps I take in Canva. So Canva basically generate logos. I have some pre-created images. I use that to create a logo of something or an image of something, or for a banner on social media. Is there a product which is comparable to the ones online? Because Midjourney has sort of taken the world by storm by creating all these synthetic images, and which are almost as good as any human can create. So Sandra, please.
I think there should be something to change Canva or replace Canva or something like that. Canva can definitely learn and use more and implement that AI part into that to make the product better. The same thing goes with Figma, because I'm heavily user both of these products, and my brain is already thinking the shortcuts I could potentially have if I had AI implemented into these apps. So yeah, like we don't have to change everything, but it's a great way to make something much, much better. That's kind of my
got it. Yeah, so I never used Figma for someone image shared using Figma. Then was in a way. Hello.
Sorry, I lost. It was very bad.
I think it was from my side of, I guess. I had never used Figma before. I recently used Figma. Then I realized that it is a bit complicated. For a simple step, I had to download a particular image from the images sent to me. I had to select that particular layer. It worked on the same concept of what Photoshop does. Different layers, you can lock that layer and work towards it. That is the sort of feature. I think there can be more intuitive approach to that. And also, I think Canva is focused on the content part in using AI, not the graphic part, which is basically automating me selecting and creating a logo based on the theme I can send it to. I can share what is the theme I want, and it can sort of convert that text to image. I think
I've tried it. It's kind of like get there.
So I think they've hustled to get it out, but it's not there as much as sort of you'll do a better job manually clicking on the interface and creating those.
Yeah, even when it comes to landing pages or emails, right? I haven't seen good AIs out there which is really gonna build that for you, like the way you would build it, or you would sit with a designer and would storytell it properly. It's not there. Like maybe it can just give you a boilerplate idea, but how do you convert that into a design? How do you go out and give the developer that? Again, like that's all a process that AI doesn't know. It's us who has created this process, right?
Yeah, I think the landing page part I also tried. I think they were selecting a bunch of templates based on the input. and the templates were predefined. So it was reducing my time of manually selecting that template and adding a text. So not there yet. This can be solved. Hence, we're still away from AGI. So we don't have to get
so away from AGI.
Yeah, we can move to the next question, then take up, I think, a bunch of questions from the. I think we talked about this. I think this is sort of a repetition where we mentioned, I think in the media space, except the stock images and the images, I think, used to create assets for games, which can be used as an asset for games or even movies in the future, are getting there. But I think a lot of element creating tools are not there. Nothing to replace Canva. I think we can all agree on that. Any other use case you think you want to be solved, or let's open it up for questions from the participants?
I can maybe share a few things if you don't mind. I think when it comes to content generation, to be really frank, right? And also using why do people use influencers? Because yeah, they have a community, but they do also have a face, right? I haven't seen. So let's say you shoot something with an influencer, you have a product and stuff like that. But the snapshot that you get and the poses that you get from the influencer, how can you leverage it further on and on so that you don't need to, rework with that person again, but extend for a long period of time, and and the kind of voice, the kind of tone that the influencer has, how can you develop that, into other agents or avatars or anything like that, right? And make it still real for your business is something that I'm interested to see. One, how people consume that, and two, how can you even show to people that they should believe it's a real person behind it? Right?
Why do you show to them that it's a real person?
Sorry, I didn't get that, Sandra.
You said, I think you mentioned that. What did you say? The last line you said you want to show to the people that it's like a real person, or?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. So see, a lot of D2C brands look for people to, go ahead and showcase their products and get more UGC and all that stuff, right? Sometimes that's a huge cost which needs to be borne by the store, right? They do that one or two times, but they can't really scale that up, right? And how can generative AI solve that? It's something that I'm exploring. Like I am also kind of really interested on the consumer end of the table as well. I've seen a lot of virtual influencers come in and still gain that following for the content that they're giving, but it's still too early to comment about it.
Good.
Sandra, any thoughts on what do you want to see being built? Any real life problem that can be solved? Else we can move it, open it up for questions.
Yeah, I mean, I still have this, with Clue, we use AI and I understand why and what's the benefit of it for a product. And I can understand the value for the customers when they are using that part of Clue. I see it in my day life, but I'm still hesitant to idea of it and to kind of implementing that in my real personal life as well. Right. So when I think at some point we mentioned therapy or sessions, I tried it, and it was not there. It was not on personal level. It just maybe in that direction could potentially be some kind of changes that I would like to see, because at this stage, this level, it's not there yet.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mentioned from my standpoint, creating smaller assets, logos, images, any social media content, time for me to get it up should be way less in terms of how we've come. I haven't seen a product which can help me do that. I mentioned around, I haven't tried the therapy part. I did try asking question around nutrition with ChatGPT. And it was a better response compared to what I can see on Google and what a general nutritionist might suggest in terms of my experience I had before. But I think it's still at a human touch, which I'm used to. I might not be in the future. And so I think we'll have more products developed for personal needs in the coming future. It can be around health and learning. So I think language learning or learning a technology tutor is a great use case for ChatGPT. I think if people who have access to ChatGPT plugin, I think that will create a massive impact. We launched our own version of ChatGPT plugins, and where we have Google search and a bunch of other plugins around shopping. Klarna is there, Wolfram is there, and Zapier we're testing out. So you could connect ChatGPT with Zapier, which is basically 10,000 different apps. So you can send in emails, etc., and add it on top of that an agent, so it can converse with the entire universe of apps. So that might be massive. Any kind of plugins you want to see with ChatGPT, which in the future you miss, and any thoughts around that?
I do want one thing. I want. I think I don't know. I might have end up developing one using GPT only for this. So I want to primarily like if you're building a social profile, right? May it be a brand, may it be a personal. You put out a lot of content, right? But what we do? We follow other people, influencers. We try to copy the way they do, and we try to like up on the trend and see if it works for us or not. We are in that process, right? But I want an AI who could help me, build my social profile a little better, help me optimize my social content a little better by tapping into people that I really follow and trying to personalize that according to what I want to say, right? I don't see any AI right now which I could find doing that. So primarily this would be like pretty much like a good social media analyst and like a strategist sort of a thing.
Got it. Yeah, I think Sandra.
I have this auto-generated, powered by ChatGPT. It's classic. The title is always powered by some AI. And it sends me, it's connected with my Twitter or something, and it sends me these everyday emails. And there's like tweets, they're suggesting me tweets that I should tweet based on my content on Twitter. It's far away. It's far away. But
very close to that is something like you use Tweet Hunter for. Right, so check out Tweet Hunter. I use that, helps me do some stuff, but it's not there yet. You could start off with it.
Yeah, I think ChatGPT does need some integration with an editor sort of thing, where you can store your different kind of content. It can be around social media, as you mentioned, or your Word document, or a sheet you would want to use for marketing, any kind of schedule you want to maintain. So calendar is there, your social profile is connected, and there is an agent, and it automates your tasks. And for Sandra, it can automate the product hunt launch that day and manage the traffic influx for any product launch.
We lost you.
Hello? Yeah, I was mentioning for you particularly, it can be around the product hunt launch where the agent can launch on product hunt, gather the followers, and then manage the influx of comments across social media and even product hunt.
I don't think that's possible, but but one thing that I saw, because right now we are at a stage where we are getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
And I'm having kind of hard time to sort it out, to see what's happening. And it would be really useful if there is some kind of plugin that could potentially help me around it. We do use different platforms, but it's kind of like this messy process where you actually have to kind of like go through it and see and divide and decide. So if we would have something that could potentially go over all of this information and data and give me some kind of result or the right direction to go, or something like that. Yeah. Especially now that we got so much comments on like product hunt, and when we launched it, it's around like 500 comments, and everyone is requesting something or giving feedback and etc. And if there was ability to kind of like summarize all of this, would be very helpful as well. I don't know, am I the only one in the conversation right now?
Got it.
No, I'm there. I think Ankur is stuck.
Hello? I think I dropped off in the middle. There's some flaky connection on my side. Apologies for that. We can open it up for a couple of questions. If anyone in the comments would want to come on camera or just mention it as a chat in the chat window. I'll just scroll to the previous comment. If there is any question, we can take it up. I think Abhishek asks, how are you using ChatGPT for your marketing funnel and content marketing? This is for you, Sandra. How do you use ChatGPT for your marketing funnel and content marketing? Are you using it for this use case?
So at this stage, all the marketing efforts, it's just me tweeting.
Okay.
Email marketing, of course, like that's the content that definitely goes through ChatGPT all the time. Yeah, so that's one of the use cases. Of course, content, blogs, etc. like that. You have these ideas, you place it there, you get some results, you go from there. So it's much easier and faster way to get to the content.
Got it. I think personalizing emails in a way, and I think I have used that ChatGPT for that. But how's the response versus you creating the email yourself versus ChatGPT creating it for you?
So in my case, I always have idea of what I want to see or what I want to get from the content, and just writing it down and going over to ChatGPT, and like it just gives you a bit different perspective of like potential output. So it's kind of like, it's not writing the content or an email for me, but it's more just giving me ideas of what could be better in that, or what could I add, or if I want to. So yeah.
Got it. Basically the style of the conversation and different variants around that.
Exactly, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, Ashish, have you used ChatGPT for email and for creating the draft?
Oh yeah.
How was the response?
It's been pretty good. So actually we are building like Moda inside, like for our e-commerce perspective, we have this personalized email feature itself. So I kind of like use our own feature, which is talking to ChatGPT. A few things which really help, which we've seen help, and also for myself as well, is again this whole who you're reaching to, what kind of language, tone, what do you want out of it. So like if you give the ChatGPT what you really want out of it, it helps you. So I've been doing prompt engineering for quite a while. So from that perspective, yes, the output and open rates still flaky. Like I would say, still 60% of my emails work, and 40% of ChatGPT emails are open but not clicked. Yeah, I mean, there's still things to be done. Yeah.
Got it. I think we've gone over time in a way. Anyone last question, we can take it up and we can wrap it up.
Progress.
Any other questions? Just if not, we'll share the link of the call on we'll upload this on LinkedIn. You can ask your questions there. We'll have, I think Sneha can post your social profiles in the chat window. If anyone has a question, you can directly use the link and reach out to the speakers and to me. And yeah, happy to host Ashish and Sandra on the call. I think we'll see more of you on the Product Hunt launches in the future and the community section as well. And you'll see more of the team from our side launching different AI tools and sort of different community tools on Product Hunt and Twitter. We have an AGI version of a product called Camel, which is basically 2 agents or multiple agents conversing on a problem that you share. We would launch a browser update for that. Yeah, you can sort of subscribe to it, and I think yeah, I will try to make it live today. And because the work is based on a research paper, we have to iterate a lot for it to make it work in real life environment. And yeah, it should be live by tonight. So I'll share the updates on our socials for that. Thanks, Sandra. Thanks, Ashish. Any last comments if you want to make? Else we'll wrap up.
Thank you so much. It was a really good conversation. It's a very hot topic. Everyone has opinions about it, and I love to be part of it.
Yeah, love being here.
Yes, it is, and it's a one of us. Yes, go on, Ashish. Yeah, please go on.
No. So yeah, I just love being here. I think what I'm really interested in going back to what it is can AI really improve our lives? Yeah, we've seen improving bits and pieces, but can it really evolve into that personalization era? I'm going to be really talking more about this and exploring more. So yeah, anybody can feel free to chat, ping me around it, and we can talk about it.
Sure, and we'll share the profile. I think Sneha shared your profile, and please share Sandra's and my profile. If you want to reach out to me, I'm available on Twitter and LinkedIn, and I think I'm hoping Sandra is active on Twitter, and Ashish would be as well. Else reach out to us on the Product Hunt community. Thanks everyone for joining in. The recording of the call would be available on LinkedIn, and you can drop in your questions there or directly on our socials. Thank you. Signing off.